This is the 2024 Chevrolet Tahoe Premiere. Is it the ultimate full-size SUV? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I borrowed this model from Red River Chevrolet in Bossier City, Louisiana. If you want to know more, maybe come in and buy this model, check out the link down in the description of the video. That will get you started. The exterior color on this model is Empire Beige Metallic, and it has a jet black with maple sugar. Apparently that's maple sugar interior. Pretty nice color contrast, I must say. And being that this is the Premiere trim level, it shouldn't come as a surprise that you're going to have full LED lighting. LED headlights, LED daytime running lights. Now there's no fog lights. We're going to see some changes for 2025. What are you hoping for? Maybe fog lights added. I don't know. Tell me what your thoughts are. And I do like the design of the daytime running lights and those turn signal indicators right there. You know they're LED because of that flickering effect. And this is the thing to keep in mind. That's not really happening. It's only happening through the lens of my GoPro. Now we do have active air curtains right here. That's going to allow air to flow through the front end and help to reduce drag, help to improve aerodynamics, well, as best as possible. It is a large SUV that may not have the best aerodynamics in the world, but you know what? Still has plenty of space in the interior and gets the job done. This model is two-wheel drive, which obviously means rear-wheel drive. That's better for towing. Let's talk about our tire and wheel setup here. We've got 275 on our width, so you've got a lot of meat on the ground. A 60 series sidewall and 20-inch wheels. You have a full-size spare, by the way. And you're gonna find a combination all over the vehicle of a little bit of gloss black and some chrome. On the Premiere trim level, that works. Turn signal indicators built into the power folding, power adjustable, and heated side view mirrors. You're gonna have your blind spot monitoring built in right here. And I like the fact that you have passive entry on the front doors and the rear doors. Why is that important? For you parents out there, maybe you have little ones and you're coming to the back doors first, you can unlock all four doors from right there on that back door using the passive entry button. And let me turn around and we'll take advantage of the bright Louisiana sunshine today. There is the remote. Everything you want. Lock, unlock, remote start. You can open the power tailgate. You can also pop open the rear glass. It's not something you see very often on vehicles these days, on SUVs. That was once something that was very common. You could either pop it open or roll it down and roll it up. Some people will say, what? What does that mean? That's right. It's not a feature you see much anymore, but it was there at one point. And in this case, we're going to have the affixed assist steps right there just to make things easier for getting in and out. You also find your roof rails up top. You're gonna find your rear roof spoiler here, which I like the fact that the rear window wiper is up here instead of down here. And guess what? If you're ready to go racing, I guess you already have your vehicle number on here so you can go out and race. And we'll finish things off here with our dual exhaust, quad tip exhaust. I like the balance, two on each side. You've got your sensors for your parking sensors and all those great features. Talking about that exhaust, what exactly is being exhausted? Let's open the hood and we'll find out. And no, he does not come with the Tahoe. You'll have to pay extra. Under the hood is the 5.3 liter V8. 355 horsepower, 383 pounds-feet of torque. It is a naturally aspirated engine as opposed to turbocharged. It's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And someone's gonna ask if I don't say it, so here are the MPGs. 15 city, 20 highway, 17 combined, and 5.9 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And we'll go over here to the driver's side so that you can see where your gas tank is. And if you're curious to know, it holds 24 gallons. And if you plan on doing some towing with your Tahoe, this is the setup you want. It will tow 8,400 pounds. Now, I want to show you a little trick. You have a power hands-free tailgate back here. There are a number of ways to open that. In fact, obviously, you can use the remote. There's a button right in here, or you can use the hands-free feature where you just kick your foot under the bumper like that. But what happens when you do what I'm doing right there and nothing happens? I'm gonna show you a simple little trick. I love to show this because it will save you some time. You won't rush off to the dealership and go to the service department or whoever you bought the vehicle from, because you don't need to. You just need to come right here. This knob is what you're looking for, that dial. I guess we can call it a dial more than a knob. There are 3 settings on that. You have off, 3/4, and you have max. Now, I've got it set intentionally to off. So, I'm gonna set that to max, and we'll go back here and show you what the difference is. Here we go. It's gonna work this time, I guarantee it. There we go. That's all you have to do in case you were curious about that. And because I talked about it earlier, I'm going to hit that button twice, and you might see it on the screen that the rear glass popped open. So if it's convenient and you don't need to open the tailgate, maybe you need to drop something in, or you can reach in and get something if you can get to it. That's kind of a long way to reach down, even at 5'10", that's a long way for me. But that's what you do. Now you will have to manually put the glass back down like that, not a big deal, but just so you know, that's how that works. Your cargo capacity will range between 25.5 up to 122.9 cubic feet. You will find a little bit of space underneath the floor right here. And I like the fact that when you put the floor up, it stays up like that until you're ready for it to come down. But see, it does stay up actually. Tools for changing a tire are found right here. So if you ever need to do that, there's where everything is. And to maximize cargo space, we have a couple of different options here. 2 sets of switches right here. The rear seats that obviously are controlled by the back 2 switches are power. The middle seats, they drop the middle seats down right here, but you'll have to manually raise those back up. So let's take a look at how everything looks when it is maximized. Let those seats down. The headrests will move out of the way, so that's always nice to see. And I will drop these seats. And there we go. I had to help that seat on the left-hand side a little bit. But here's how everything looks when it's maximized. Now there is one thing that you won't find here. Some people might say that's a good thing, and that is the lack of a sunroof. It would be a panoramic sunroof if that were here. And you also have a power outlet right here. Nice to know that that option is here if you need it. Now let's take a look and see what your passengers will find. For starters, your middle seat passengers will find a ton of room on the armrest. It's very comfortable, very well padded. I like that. And the upper and the lower door bins. By the way, if you're curious about the audio, it has the Bose Premium Audio. There's your Chevrolet logo on the door sill right there. And I wanted to show you something. The seat here on the left is going to be all the way back. The seat over there on the right-hand side of the vehicle is all the way forward. So there are some options for increasing leg space for your rear seat passengers. And you'll use this lever, we'll call that a lever, right there to move the seat back and forth on the tracks. The lever in the back right here is used to get the seat out of the way to make it easier to gain access to the rear seats back there. Now you could use the pass-through, I guess, but most adults are not likely to do that. So we're gonna pull on that one time. We're gonna pull on that again, and the seat gets up and out of the way very easily. I like that, just makes life a little bit easier for everybody. There's plenty of room back here. Now these don't recline back any further than they are right now, in case you were wondering about that, but that's just the way it is. There's a USB port right there. There's one on each side, and a cup holder here, and technically I guess if you had a square juice box or something, you could put that right there. I don't know. But one thing I really like here is the roof-mounted air conditioning vents, because that makes it so much easier for the air to get to the passengers before the temperature changes and it isn't quite what they want it to be, whether it's warmer or cooler, depending on the temperature outside. We'll find the map lights or the reading lights right there, and with the space right here, the seats can come back to about right here. So depending on who's sitting in the middle seats, well, that's going to determine what kind of space you have. There is quite a bit back here regardless. A lot of room, and I like the fact that the floor itself is not too high so that passengers aren't uncomfortable with their legs sitting up too high. They're just not a very comfortable position. Now, let me show you one more thing. And let me show you one more thing, unless you're that adult that likes to jump through the pass-through right there. If whoever's sitting here in the middle row seats doesn't let you out, well, that's okay. You can take care of that. Now, there is a manual pull or release right here that can be used to take care of that. But you can also use the button right here. So we're going to push that button one time. A little slow to go down. We're going to push that button a second time. The seat gets up out of the way, and we're ready to get out. And when the changes come to the Tahoe, I sure would like to see a little bit more length to the armrest, maybe coming all the way up to the top of the seat right here, just to give you an idea. Why is that? Because if I was sitting back here, I don't really want my wrist hanging off like that. That just doesn't work for me, and there's no way to adjust that. So one position, it's either up or it's down. It's just how it is. But that's just my thought on the matter. Some people might say, that's no big deal. You'll also find rear seat pockets on the rear of each seat. Here's the command center for controlling the air conditioning, fan speed, temperature, even heated seats here in the middle row. We don't need that today, although it's mighty nice in the low 80s right now in northwest Louisiana. That's nice and comfortable for this time of year. Yes, that's right. That's the way it is here. Some of you might say, wow, that's hot for us. I wish that was hot for us, but it isn't. And we'll find our USB connectivity here and another power outlet. And if you really want to give the people in the comments section who ask what the sticker price is, tell them just to go back and watch the entire video, because you know what the price is and you know where I said it. But don't give it to them. Let's just have a little fun. For those of you who are patient and made it to this point in the video, $73,590 is the sticker price. Let's see what else you get for that price. Now, I do want to show you something here. You can lock the windows right there, adjust your power side view mirrors, and when you push this button, I told you earlier, those are power folding side view mirrors. So now you see that in action. Obviously, you know what else is here. You do have your seat memory right there, and you have your driving mode selector right here. You can control the headlights and all on the vehicle, headlights and taillights. But let's go through our driving modes and see what all we have. So there's tow haul mode, there's normal, sport, snow and ice. Go all four-wheel drive if you need snow and ice mode. And there you go. Now, we do have a lot of safety features here. I'll talk a little bit more about those in just a bit. There's your power parking brake and your head-up display controls. There's where you're going to control the position, information that's displayed, and brightness. And I think that's as bright as it gets. Hopefully that's showing up on the screen. It looks like it is, but it is there, and you can adjust it as you need to. And speaking of adjustments, well, first of all, let's do this. Here are your steering wheel mounted controls. Everything for your adaptive cruise control over here. And then you can see what you have here for voice commands and all that good stuff. Now, let's do this. I'm just going to use the arrow key right here to arrow over. We're going to go through some information here. I want to go to display layout. Now, you can control what is on each section, whether it's the left side, right side, lower gauges, info pages. If you want to change the units, if you wanted to maybe go to metric and really shock whoever's sitting in the passenger seat and make it look like you're going a lot faster than you really are, well, you could do that. But what I'm going to do, somebody told me that everybody who reviews these vehicles always uses the classic display. So let's go through and see what all is here. Here's progressive. There we go. That's what you're going to have for progressive. We'll go to digital next, and you can tell me which one you like the most. So that looks pretty nice. And how clean is clean? Let's find out. There we go. That's what clean looks like. So I'm going to leave it on digital just for the fun of it. That way nobody can say that I just left it on the basic layout the way everybody else does, the default layout, we'll say. And on the rear of the steering wheel, over here on the right-hand side, you're going to find the volume control. Over on the left-hand side over here, you'll find the same things, and that's how you work your way back and forth through stations or whatever music you're listening to, all that good stuff. How many of you are hoping for changes in this area in the future with the Tahoe, with the push-button shifter? Do you like it? Do you not? Maybe it doesn't matter, you're indifferent about it. Well, tell me what your thoughts are. We do have our rear view mirror, our rear view camera mirror, so you can use it as a conventional rear view mirror or the camera mirror, as you can see right there. And a little bit better look at our upper console here. We saw what was there earlier as far as the control for the power tailgate back there, but you can see what else we have where everything is concerned as far as what you have and maybe some things you don't have. Just depends on what I guess you're looking for. And take a look at this. The power center console, where we can move that out of the way. If you have lazy middle seat passengers and they don't want to reach up for their drinks, I guess you could always get their drinks to them. And you also have a nice little hidden compartment right there. So nice to see that that is there. And all I did was use this control right here, this button. We'll bring that back forward again. Very easy to deal with, but it is nice to see that feature. Now, let's give some time. Well, before we do that, let me do one thing. You might have noticed that there was no sunglass holder up here, but there is a sunglass holder here. It's just over here on the right hand side. So that's where your sunglasses go, or whatever you want to put in there that will fit. Now we'll talk about the infotainment screen. You do have Google Assistant here, so you can say, hey, I fooled you, didn't I? Some of you are cringing, thinking, oh, Tom, don't set things off in my house, my smart home. I've done that before and had people tell me in the comments section that I indeed did set things off. So we won't do that, but you do have your Google Assistant right there. You have everything you need here. Wireless capabilities for pairing your smartphone. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are here. Everything for trailering and all that good stuff. My Chevrolet podcasts right there. First of all, let's take a quick look at our multiple camera views. You've got that overhead 360-degree view. That's always nice to have. And depending on what you want to see, you can see things a little closer if you want to. Doing that, our side view camera mirror, or side view mirror cameras, let's say that correctly. And depending on where you need to see and what you need to see, well, it's all here. There is so much going on here that you know, we could honestly do one video just on this infotainment screen, but we're not going to do that. I do want to go in here and spend a little bit of time in settings, maybe not too much, but you can see what all is here. But there is one main thing I want to show you, and that's going to be right here under vehicle. In fact, there's a few things we'll go over. You do have teen driver mode. You can turn your rear seat reminder on and off if you want to. Buckle to drive, I like to turn that off because if I'm driving around on the dealership lot or whatever I'm doing, well, that's not a big deal. When you're driving, do use your seat belt. Climate and air quality is there, and here is what I really wanted to show you. Your collision detection systems. Automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, lane change alert, park assist tow bar, rear cross traffic alert, and rear pedestrian alert. So it's nice to know what's there. I know a lot of you like to know about that, so I try to cover that. And by the way, I do like this area right here where you can kind of rest your fingers and makes it easy to see or to position your fingers where it's easy to deal with everything. This is such a simplistic infotainment system that you really don't even need me to tell you much about it. You can figure it out on your own. I'm confident in that. Here's where you control the radio. Volume here, stations here, and obviously you can do some of those same things here. If you're having trouble getting home on the infotainment screen, which you can do by pushing right there, touching right there, you can also hit this button and it will take you home. Pretty easy to deal with. Dual zone climate control here in the front, our third zone obviously in the rear. We have heated seats. We also have ventilated seats. And even though it's not nearly as hot today as it normally is this time of year, I'm still very grateful to have my ventilated seats here. And you can see that that is our wireless charging pad. Also some connectivity down here, including a 12-volt power outlet, cup holders, and your center console. A lot of real estate there as far as space to use that as an armrest. I like that. And plenty of space within. So you're not hurting for space, that's for sure. There's also going to be space in the glove box. And I didn't talk about it, but you also have your upper and your lower door bins right there for the front doors. And it goes without saying, I would say, but in case you're curious, yes, the driver and passenger seats are both power, and you also have your lumbar adjustment. Okay, here we go for our test drive with the Tahoe. A comfortable ride quality for a large vehicle, which shouldn't necessarily be a big surprise, but I think a lot of people just assume large vehicle means a very uncomfortable ride quality. A lot of the time it's the other way around. The smaller vehicles tend to offer the less comfortable ride quality. So that's good. Plenty of room, plenty of space for the driver and the passengers. That's always a good thing. A lot of adjustability here, especially with the front seats. Everything is nice and adjustable, including the temperature for your seats. You have 3 different stages for heated or ventilated. And one thing I did not mention earlier in the video, in fact, 2 things concerning the steering wheel. It seems a little strange to mention it this time of year, but you know what? If you're going to buy a Tahoe, a Premiere, you need to know what's here. has the heated steering wheel function. It would be nice to see a ventilated steering wheel. As far as I know, there is nothing like that on the market. There may be, and I'm just not aware of it. But in Northwest Louisiana and in a lot of places, especially with the steering wheel being black in color, well, it attracts the sun. And even on a day like this where I'm thankful that it's not nearly as hot as it normally is, we're typically over 100 degrees this time of the year, being in the low to mid 80s is wonderful, but the sun still beats down on this interior, and so it would be nice to have that ventilated steering wheel. And I like the fact that you have such easy to use technology here. It's not only easy to use, it's easy to learn. So for those of you who are maybe stepping into a new vehicle like this and you haven't had this kind of technology before, well, that's a good thing to know that it's not hard to learn. But if you find yourself struggling in any form or fashion, you're in the right place to take care of that, because you're on YouTube, or you can find practically endless tutorials on anything you could want to know about. It's perfect. It's a really good situation where all of that is concerned. So a very nice vehicle, very well-rounded for what it is. I am interested to see what comes in the future as far as the Tahoe goes. We're waiting for Chevrolet to give some more information where that is concerned, but there's definitely a lot going here. I am curious to know what your plans are. You're going to buy a 24 model, maybe wait and see what happens in 2025? I'm curious to know. Okay, tell me what you think about the 2024 Chevrolet Tahoe Premiere. Is it the ultimate full-size SUV? Maybe you're that person out there that doesn't want something quite as long as a Suburban or maybe a GMC Yukon XL. This is a great option. Tell me what you think. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at Red River Chevrolet here in Bossier City, Louisiana, for loaning me this Tahoe for the day. And I want to say a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch and give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.